Most of you by now have probably already heard about the Engraver getting a nerf for the Boom Beach January update. And in today's video, I want to talk about, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Are we overreacting? Or do we have every god-darn right to pull out those pitchforks and torches, march our way right to Helsinki, and burn that headquarters right to the ground? I'm kidding. We're not doing that. Nobody is doing that. But in today's video, I want to talk about the Engraver nerf coming to Boom Beach. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, Engraver talk with regards to the Engraver nerf. So even before we begin, I just so happen to have to claim 4 of my engravings, and I'm sure most of you already knew about this little tip here, but if you didn't know about this little tip here, you're actually like 99.999% of a chance to give yourself a research token if that's what you are looking for. So instead of just like spamming and collecting all 4 of your engravings at once, we're going to go through them one at a time, and you just want to claim it and then wait until the arrow stops right before the very end. You'll see it slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, and right as it's slowing down over a research token, you want to tap your engraver. So we're going to try this. We've got 4 chances here to pull this off here, so let's start things off here. So we've got intel. You see how we're going, stop. Research token. All right, that's 1 right there. Let's see if we can do it 3 more times. Let's get the next one. All right, we got leech. Too bad you're getting nerfed. All right, wait for it. Slow. Boom. Perfect. 2 for 2. So you're just kind of watching it going, and then you're tapping your, well, the engraving as soon as that, as soon as it's pretty much slowing down right above the research token. So you've got full control of this, guys. I did not know if you knew this, but now you know this. Let's claim the 3rd one. Let's make it 3 for 3 armor. We're getting all the goodies that are getting nerfed here. So let's go. Perfect. 3 for 3 on the research tokens. Let's see if we can pull it off for a 4th time here. Let's get a leech or an armor. Insulation, whatever. I'll take it. All right, 4 for 4 on the research tokens. Look at that. All right, so you as a player are actually in full control of gaining your research tokens. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I get those fat fingers, and, I may pull in some quality upgrade, but I think the research tokens is where we're going at. So now you know that little tip there. Okay, so let's just collect all that. Okay, my least amount of shards here. Dark, then life, then fire, then ice. All right, engravings. So right now I've got my adrenaline engraving boosted, and I think probably one of the biggest setbacks right now for this Engraver nerf is the cost and the time involved with boosting an engraving from the engraver. So right now, currently in-game, and probably for the next day or 2, you're able to use 7 power powder, and you can boost any one of your engravings for unlimited duration. So just saying that right off the bat just kind of sounds a little bit ridiculous. It does make the engraver overpowered. Does it make it incredibly overpowered? No. But it does make it overpowered knowing that you can just spend 7 power powders and have an infinite boost for as long as you wish. And that's the thing about the engraver as well with engravings, is that I've noticed that players have become custom, players have become attached to certain engravings. Like, I know as a warrior player, I'm pretty much only running rally and leech. I just recently started getting into adrenaline, which I'm surprised I wasn't doing that earlier, but that's pretty much what I'm using. So when I'm boosting one of my engravings, when I'm investing those 7 power powders, I'm not really deactivating that engraving and switching it the next day. I'm pretty much keeping that engraving activated for, the week, 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks in some. And I know for a lot of players, they were exactly the same way. So in that retrospect, this was a great investment of dumping 7 power powders to get an unlimited boost of your choice. That right there was definitely OP, because I definitely became accustomed. I became attached to my engraving and Skull Army Boom community. I know you as well became accustomed to your engravings as well. So with that being said, now this is changing. This is now changing to 2 power powder for an instant activation. That's right. I probably should touch on the fact that you could use 4 power powder and wait 11 hours and 30 minutes, or just spend 3 more and just have it instantly activated. So I think majority of the players just went with the instant. You know, if you were, you know, managing your power powders, or, you know, penny pinching your power powders, you probably were going for the 4 power powder, you know, waiting the 11 hours and 30 minutes for it to be activated. But even 7 power powders for that instant activation was a great investment right there. So now it's switching over to 2 power powder for a 12-hour activation. So depending on how hardcore of a player you are, most players will be boosting an engraving from the engraver at least once a day. So let's say you're hitting your op, you know, that's 12 power powders you're boosting. That's if you're boosting. Most players, you know, in that competitive range will be boosting their statues. So it's 12 power powders to boost your statues, and then that's 2 more to boost your engraver. So that's for 1 day. So that's 12 for the statues, 2 for the engraver. That is 14. Now let's just step it up a smidge more. Let's say you're a hardcore player that's now going to be boosting their engravings twice a day. So now instead of 12, 14, you're going to add 2 more for those 4 power powder invested in the engraver every day. 4 power powder on the engraver, 2 for the first 12-hour cycle, 2 for the second 12-hour cycle, and you still have 12 for your statues. That's 16. 16 power powder a day. Now I think for most players it'll be 14. And even then, for most players, it'll probably be 12. And for even more players, it'll probably be 0 now. I think a lot of us will start getting very, very cheap with our power powder with regards to the change, the nerf coming to the engraver. So I know for myself, I will tend to boost my statues probably, you know, once every other op. You know, most players will try to take advantage of the double dip. But of course, ever since Supercell did add the 12 statue, that is an additional powder to use to boost those statues. And again, the engraver was a great addition with regards to managing and utilizing your shards. On top of that, now we've also have another way to use our power powders. Now, depending on how many power powders you have, you probably have more of a right to be upset about this. Like if you're one of those players that are literally stacking thousands and thousands and thousands upon power powders, and you're complaining about this, well, I mean, you still have a right to complain, but I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous considering, you know, it's just going to be a walk in the park. This is exactly why we've been hoarding and stocking these power powders to use them. So players like me that, you know, maybe have hundreds upon hundreds of power powders, and, you know, even then players that have less than 100, I can definitely see them reacting a little bit more aggressively due to the fact of, you know, either poor power powder management, and I know I'm responsible of that. So when we get a nerf like this and we realize that, you know, we've become attached to our engraving, you know, we've just wasted the 7, invested the 7 power powder, and now that engraving is boosted 24/7, we don't need to worry about it. Now we got to use 2 power powders a day to get that same love and affection for that engraving. So if you are a player that do have less power powders, I can definitely seeing this being, you know, a kick in the pants. Yeah, you know, it sucks. It really does. If you're a player that is hoarding thousands upon thousands upon thousands of power powders, well, this is exactly what you've been saving them for. So with that being said, the 2 additional nerfs that are coming to the engravings on the engraver are armor and leech. Now, I was never really a big armor guy. I just recently heard about how freaking phenomenal armor is. I know this is actually going to be upsetting a lot of people. This one comment right here, Beefy, peace, love, and respect, brother. I want to know how many of you guys agree with this one comment right here from Beefy, guys. I'm just going to pull it up here so I can just read it for a second. Was a lot of overnight pros, and now Noob City is back. So is it true that a lot of mediocre task forces were beating Duplexity on the daily because of armor? Again, I don't hit Duplexity on the daily. I hit Duplexity quite, you know, rarely, to be honest with you. But it seems that, you know, the average Joe player are, you know, a good mass of players, you know, have been elevated kind of that superstar level when it comes to operations because of the engraver. And now everybody's going to be knocked down a couple pedestals just due to the power powder management that's now involved with it. You know, players are going to be picking and choosing which ops that they're going to be boosting their engraver for, you know, and of course for crab weekends as well. So that itself right there, you know, I can see So, is it true? Has the engraver, has the armor made us overnight superstars? Or are we just kind of being, knocked back down to reality a little bit more right now? And on top of that, as a warrior player, I mean, I use Leech a lot. Leech is probably one of my top 3 engravings that I have been using, not only as a warrior player, but just in general here. So, you know what? The, what's it called? The reduction coming to Leech now, when you fully max it out, it's 25%. So all units heal themselves 25% of the damage they do. That's at a fully maxed out Leech engraver. Sorry, a fully maxed out Leech engraving. Now, after the update, it's only going to be 15%. So again, even at, level 4, I'm already doing 14%. So, I love already at 14%. So it's not going to be that big of a deal for me with regards to the Leech nerf. Again, it's that power powder management that's going to be creeping up on players that I think is going to be the real killer, depending if you are boosting your engravings once or twice a day. So it is really going to start adding up here. So we've got our adrenaline boosted here. Again, what does adrenaline do? Well, again, increases your unit's movement and attack speed by 12%. And I know a few other players were talking about how, sabotage is still pretty overpowered. I don't even want to mention the other ones that are overpowered because I don't want to give Supercell any ideas here. But you know what? For all we know, we could be coming into the year or the era of Boom Beach, where now I know Clash Royale got into an era or a cycle, or maybe it was Brawl Stars, where pretty much every month, characters or brawlers or whatever was getting buffed or nerfed. We may be entering that era now with Boom Beach and the engraver with regards to the 12 engravings that we have. Maybe we'll see monthly or, quarterly buffs and nerfs to the engravings, especially how the metas do go, for the yearly quarters. So that's also pretty exciting right there. Let me know in the comments, our Skull Army Boom community, what your favorite engraver is, what your favorite engraving is on the engraver. I'll be doing polls on my YouTube channel for the next couple of days. Did one yesterday, I'll do one today, and I'll do one tomorrow, pretty much breaking down all the engravings into categories of 4, and then the top winner from those 3 polls, I'll do another poll to essentially see who the champion is, who the community likes the most, or uses the most when it does come to the engravings here. So again, I've got my adrenaline boosted here, increases your unit's movement and attack speed by 12%. I should have been using adrenaline over rally from the start. So this is why I'm a big fan of adrenaline right now. So let's go in for a YOLO here. Where's my HQ? What's our health on that? I know we got a shield. That is shield at 550. Health is 280. Yeah, we could probably do this. Not too many mines up the path here. All right, so let's just kind of worry about the dangerous mines. Let's go barrage right here. Critter right there. Artie right there. And we'll pretty much eat the rest of these mines as we get ourselves into a position here. So we'll start off with bullet on the far right there. Warriors coming out in a vertical stagger drop. We'll get that first smoke. And we'll flare, keeping it super tight along the right wall here. 62 GBE left. I think we can actually go right for a core flare here. 1, and then we'll reverse drop. Oh, there's a boom mine in the back there. We'll get one more Artie before the Warriors land. Keep our boys in the fight. So now we'll get that taunt going, and yeah, I think we're looking pretty good right here. Let's just get a critter and a shock. Critter. Shock. And we could fast forward this, but I think we're just going to appreciate the madness here, the adrenaline, baby. That adrenaline is a pumping here, and I could probably do a full map clear, a video, or a live stream just using the adrenaline engraving on the engraver with my freaking warriors. Bring in the hammer down. Warriors, come out and play. So, all right, Skull Army and friends, Boom community, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the engraver being nerfed. Is it necessary? Is it not necessary? Are we overreacting, or are we reacting well within our rights here? So Skull Army and friends, Boom community, if you have made it this far into the video, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me. It does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. My friends, I'll catch you all on the next one. It's time to make like a Tom and cruise.
I'm an actor.
Have a wonderful day. Peace!